Hey people, happy Wednesday. Hope things are going all right for you this first week back. This video is the E flat transposers. So this is only for alto sax and Bari sax. They are the only E flat transposers. So if you're not one of those instruments, you are watching the wrong video. Go find a different one. They're all listed there in Schoology. So just saxophone people, let's go. Well, and not tenor sax, of course. Talia, you're on the B flat video. Okay, I'm going to erase that. So let's get started. First, we're talking the key of F concert up here. Your first note is not F because you transpose, but it is still the F concert scale. So please write an F there. And our first step is using the circle of fourths to find your first note. So remember, we always find the letter name of the scale. This is F concert. And you all go 3 clicks counterclockwise. So I'm going this way around the circle counterclockwise. And you go 3 clicks because you're an E flat transposer. So I go 1, 2, 3 clicks. So your first note is D right there. So this is actually at the D scale for you. So as I'm writing the note names down below here, I'm going to start, excuse me, I'm going to start with the D. Okay, and then I climb my way up the scale in alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There is no H, so I start over. A, B, C, and I get back to the letter with which I started. So there's the letter names of this scale. I now have letter names. The next step would be figuring out what sharps or flats I have. So let's go back up to the circle of fourths. I'm going to erase that previous step. And now I need to figure out the sharps. So if I look at the top of the circle here, that is 0 flats and 0 sharps. Your scale is right here. And if I go this direction on the circle, I am adding, here I'll highlight it in purple, sharps in this direction. So 2 clicks, this is 1 sharp, this is 2 sharps over here. So again, this, 0 sharps, 1 sharp, 2 sharps, and I get to the name of the scale we just talked about. Your first note is D. So 2 sharps. How do I know which sharps they are? In yellow, you've highlighted right here the order of the sharps. The order of the sharps is always the same. If you have 2 sharps or 7 sharps or 100 sharps, they're always going to start F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Okay, so you have 2 sharps. They are F and C, those first 2 sharps in that list. So I go to my letter names on the scale here, put a sharp there, and then C is here. So I've now put the letter names of everything. I got all the letters first, I added the 2 sharps, now that is the letter names of my scale. That's the first page, that's our first step. Now we're going to go down here. I think you can ignore this little thing. I should get rid of that part. We're going to draw a treble clef. Draw a big straight line that goes a little above, little below, little loopy here, big loopy here. And if you want to put a cute little tail on the bottom, you can. If your treble clef is horribly disfigured, that's okay. I don't care about the quality of your treble clef. Now I need to add my 2 sharps to the key signature. The F sharp always goes on this top line. So there's also an F down here, but that's not how the key signatures look. So F sharp there and C sharp on this 3rd space, which is C. Right, so that's my key signature. Notice they read from left to right in the order of the sharps. First sharp was F, second sharp was C. So I'm climbing this direction with my key signature. Then I need to write down what is my first note. Alto players, you're going to play up to a high D on this one. So you're going to start here on this D, and you'll climb up into the palm keys to play to this one. Bari players are going to start down here on this note. So yeah, and then you'll just play up to this guy. So that's the Bari first note, and this is the alto first note here. You don't need to write the whole scale here. It's just good to note what your first note is. Good. 3rd page. The responses that I'm asking you to write here is actually, I would like your fingering chart on this page. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm sure you've all done this countless times, but in the upper right here, well, first I have to go get a screenshot of a fingering chart, and I'll post those on Schoology, so you should be able to grab it right there, or on the internet, find a saxophone fingering chart and screenshot it so that it's in your iPad. Once you've got it there, I hit this plus up here, and I go to Photo Library, And then I can grab, here's a fingering chart here. I can just grab that, drag it onto my page, use this little square down at the bottom corner of it. I can grab that to make it bigger, reposition it, whatever. I can drag it around. Then I'm going to go to my highlighter tool, and I want you to highlight the notes of this scale. This one is not your fingering chart. This is a French horn fingering chart because it's the one that I happen to have in my screenshots. But if I were, I'm looking for notes, say I'm the Bari sax player, I'm going to look for my notes. What is my starting note? So I'm wandering around. Oh, I've drawn over it here. Let's get rid of this. Go away. Okay, so Bari sax player takes out highlighter, and we talked about your first note is a D, and it's the low D, so I do that. Then my next note was E. My next note was F sharp. Then my next note was G, then it was A, then it was B, and then it was C sharp, and then it was D. So if I was a Bari sax player, this is what it looks like. The fingering chart for saxes would actually have your fingerings on it, unlike this French horn one. But that's the idea. The ones highlighted in red, you'll notice I skipped these. There is no E flat in this scale. There's no F natural in this scale. There's no B flat. So that's why I skipped those ones. So you're only highlighting the notes that we listed right here. You're just highlighting those notes. Okay. So that is the process, and then once you've got this highlighted, you're good, and you're ready to go start practicing that scale. So just a quick review. I'll grab, I don't know what color, a blue highlighter. The first thing you did was wrote the letter names, so you should have that with F sharp and C sharp. Second thing was draw the key signature and add your starting note if you're a Bari player or alto player. And then third, we threw a fingering chart into this final page, and we highlighted just the notes of this scale on the fingering chart. Once you've done those things, you're done. You can turn it in and go play the scale a few times. Hope you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.